Roblox simulators are one of the most popular genres on Roblox, but I also believe that they are one of the worst type of games on Roblox. But before we do that, thank you so much for all the recent growth so far. It may not seem like a lot, but I really do appreciate all the support this channel's been getting. Also, I plan to start a series on rating Roblox games, so comment down below some games I should review. Thanks for listening, and let's get the video started. I just want to point out the elephant in the room. Simulator games have many pay-to-win aspects in it, and most presumably being in-game items, mainly being pets or game passes that give boosts. But before you comment down below, oh, all games are made to make money, and to that I say, yeah, it's true. Most, if not all, games are made to make money. However, there's a difference between making money through fair monetization and aggressively pushing pay-to-win mechanics. The issue with simulator games is that they're often designed in a way that encourage or even require players to spend Robux to progress efficiently. Many of these games create false progression by slowing down progress, making it feel like a grind unless you purchase boosts or powerful pets. Instead of rewarding skill or strategy, they reward those who are willing to spend the most money, which can be frustrating for players who just want to enjoy the game without constantly being pressured to make purchases. So while researching and playing a bunch of simulator games for this video, I noticed how they all seem to have the same premise. You do an action mainly by like clicking. You get some sort of like currency. You buy upgrades and buy pets and repeat that until you sort of make it to the end of the game, and then they kind of offer more after. But this is normally the general process that applies to most games. However, it applies to simulator games most. The only difference between the simulator games seem to be the different themes. These games seem to follow the same very formula, but there are also many exceptions to this. This gameplay formula is also not the only thing copy pasted through most games. There are a lot of things like the shop GUIs, daily rewards, and spins, which are common throughout most simulator games. And it's not even the concept of these very things. The very look of these elements in the game are also the same, which kind of makes it look like they're just copy pasted. And this aspect of simulator games makes gameplay very boring and repetitive. This lack of originality makes it very easy to lose interest in the game. And simulator games have been evolving, and developers are just kind of taking what works. And I don't really want to point fingers, but Pet Simulator, games that become popular are obviously going to be copied, and that's very normal in game development, but it's very, very prevalent in the simulator genre. So if that's the case, why do game developers still make these games? If this unoriginality doesn't build a strong retention in players, why even make them at all? Well, that's because they're a quick way to make money. I'm not a Roblox developer, and I understand that developing games is a process, like a very hard process. But from what I understand, simulator games compared to other games are considerably easier to make. Developers can take a pre-existing template and change a few assets and quickly have a functioning game ready to release. And since simulator games are surprisingly addictive, despite their repetitive nature, they still manage to attract a large player base. The constant sense of progression, whether it's unlocking new areas, upgrading stats, or getting rarer pets, keeps the player engaged just long enough to encourage spending. And many of these games use a lot of flashy visuals, satisfying sounds, and a bunch of like limited time events to create a sense of urgency within the player, which makes the player feel like they need to keep grinding or else they'll fall behind. This formula is very easy to replicate and it's very profitable, which is why developers can continue to make simulator games despite the lack of originality. Well, if simulator games are so repetitive and pay to win, why do people still play them? Well, the answer comes down to a few factors. They're addictive. Simulator games are designed to be addictive. The gameplay loop, the upgrades, the repeat, the triggers, the same kinds of reward systems in our brains that these games use. Even if the gameplay is mindless, the constant sense of progression makes the player feel like they're achieving something, which keeps them coming back. Another thing that keeps people coming back is that sometimes people just want a game they can play casually without too much thinking. Simulator games don't require skill or deep strategy, just time. Whether it's to pass the time, collect cool looking pets, or flex on friends, there are plenty of reasons why players keep coming back to the same repetitive formula, even if they recognize its flaws. So what does this mean for the Roblox community? While simulator games can be fun in the short term, their dominance on the platform has some serious downsides that affects both players and both overall quality of games on Roblox. The oversaturation of simulator games limits creativity. Since developers see how easy it is to make money with a simple repetitive formula, they're less likely to take risks and create unique, innovative experiences. This leads to a lack of variety on the platform, where genuinely creative games struggle to get the attention they deserve. It makes Roblox feel more like a cash grab than a platform for creativity. Originally, Roblox is a place where developers could experiment and bring fresh ideas to life. But with the rise of these simulator games, it feels more like developers are focusing on making quick profit rather than creating actual good games. Now, I'm not asking people to stop making simulator games or just making better games. I just want to bring attention to the current state of simulator games to the people. Well, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed me complaining about simulator games for the past 6 minutes. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. And if you have any comments on my video, if you agree or disagree, leave it down below. I'm interested in knowing your take on this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.